Breathe in slowly and let it go. Tonight, as one year fades and another waits in the gentle darkness, you are exactly where you need to be. You do not need to have it all figured out. You do not need to make grand promises or perfect plans. You only need to be here, breathing, present, held. Let your body settle into this moment. Feel the weight of the year you have carried, the joys and the sorrows, the victories and the stumbles, the days that shone bright and the days that felt too heavy. All of it has brought you here, to this threshold, to this quiet, sacred pause between what was and what will be. And you do not need to cross it alone. Let your shoulders soften now. Let your jaw relax. Let everything you have been holding begin to ease just a little. There is a story I want to share with you tonight. A story about endings and beginnings, about letting go and being held, about discovering that every new year, every new day, every new breath is a gift from hands that have never stopped loving you. This story is for you, for this moment, for this tender space between the old and the new. There was once a woman named Ilara who lived in a cottage at the top of a hill overlooking a quiet valley. She was a potter. Her days were spent at her wheel, shaping clay into bowls and cups and vessels of all kinds. She worked alone, her hands moving with practiced grace, creating beauty from earth and water. Her life was simple, peaceful in its way. But as the year drew to its close, Ilara found herself feeling something she could not quite name. Not sadness, not regret, but a kind of tender weariness. A sense that the year had asked much of her, and she had given all she could, and now she was simply tired. She sat at her window on the last evening of the year, watching the sun sink behind the mountains. The sky turned gold, then rose, then deep purple. The first stars appeared, one by one, like candles being lit in the vast darkness. Ilara wrapped a shawl around her shoulders and stepped outside. The air was cool and still. The valley below was quiet, settling into sleep. And there, at the edge of her garden, she noticed something she had never seen before. A path made of smooth white stones that seemed to glow faintly in the twilight. It wound down the hillside, disappearing into a grove of trees she did not recognize. Ilara stood still, her heart beating softly. She had lived in this cottage for years. She knew every path, every tree, every stone on this hillside. But this path was new, or perhaps it had always been there, and she had simply never noticed. Without quite deciding to, she stepped onto the path. The stones were cool beneath her feet, and as she walked, she felt the weariness she had been carrying begin to shift, not disappear, but lighten somehow, as if each step were releasing something she had been holding too tightly. The path led her through the grove of trees. Their trunks were pale silver, their branches hung with small lanterns that glowed with soft, golden light. Ilara did not know who had placed them there, but they lit her way gently, one after another, as if the path itself were welcoming her forward. The grove opened into a meadow, and there, in the center of the meadow, was a house. It was unlike any house Ilara had ever seen, made of smooth white stone with a roof of deep blue tiles that seemed to hold the starlight. Windows glowed with warm light. A door stood open, as if someone had been expecting her. Ilara walked slowly across the meadow. The grass beneath her feet was soft and cool. The air smelled of night-blooming flowers and something else, something like cinnamon and honey and rain all at once. She reached the door and paused. "Hello," she called softly. "Come in, Ilara," said a voice from within, gentle and warm, like the voice of someone who had known her all her life. And so she stepped inside. The interior of the house was simple and beautiful. A fire burned gently in a stone hearth, casting dancing light across the walls. The floor was polished wood, worn smooth by countless footsteps, and along one wall was a shelf lined with books, not ordinary books. Each one seemed to glow faintly, as if lit from within. Standing beside the fire was a figure, neither young nor old. Their face was kind, lined with wisdom and gentleness. They wore robes of undyed linen, simple and soft, and their eyes held a light that reminded Ilara of sunrise. "Welcome," the figure said, smiling. "I am the keeper of new beginnings." Ilara felt no fear, only a deep, quiet sense of recognition, as if she had been walking toward this moment all her life. "Why am I here?" she asked softly. The keeper gestured toward the shelf of glowing books. "Because the year is ending," they said gently, "and you carry its weight. You have carried it well, Ilara, but it is time to lay it down, time to remember what is true, time to step into the new with hands open and heart soft." Ilara looked at the books, her throat tight with emotion. "I don't know if I did enough this year," she whispered. "I don't know if I lived it well." The keeper stepped closer. their presence like warmth without heat. "Come," they said, "let me show you something." The keeper led Ilara to the shelf and selected one of the glowing books. It was bound in soft leather, the color of cream, with no title on its cover. They opened it gently, and Ilara saw that the pages were filled with images, moments from her year, captured in light and color. She saw herself at her pottery wheel in early spring, her hands shaping a bowl, the morning light streaming through her window, the peaceful focus on her face. "This moment," the keeper said softly, "do you remember it?" Ilara nodded. She had been making a bowl for her neighbor, whose old one had cracked. A simple act, nothing special. It was a gift, the keeper said, given freely, with love. It mattered. They turned the page. Ilara saw herself in summer, walking through the valley. She had stopped to help a child who had fallen and scraped her knee. She had cleaned the wound, spoken gently to the girl, made her laugh. "I had forgotten that," Ilara whispered. "But it is not forgotten," the keeper said. "Nothing is forgotten. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, is held in the heart of the divine." They turned page after page. Ilara saw herself sharing bread with a traveling stranger, saw herself sitting with an elderly woman who was lonely, just listening, saw herself leaving water out for the birds during a dry spell, saw herself stopping to watch a sunset, her face soft with wonder. "These moments," the keeper said gently, "these are the threads of a beautiful year. Not a perfect year, but a year lived with love." Ilara felt tears on her cheeks. "But what about the mistakes?" she asked. "What about the days I was impatient? The times I was unkind? The moments I was too tired to care?" The keeper turned to a different section of the book, and there they were, the moments Ilara was ashamed of. The morning she had snapped at a friend who only wanted to help. The afternoon she had turned away a person in need because she was too overwhelmed. The evening she had spoken harshly to herself, telling herself she was not enough. "I see these too," Ilara whispered. "As do I," the keeper said. "And I want you to know something important." They placed a gentle hand on Ilara's shoulder. "These moments do not define you. They are part of your humanity, part of your journey. And they too are held in love. You are not meant to be perfect, Ilara. You are meant to be human, to stumble and rise, to fail and try again, to be forgiven Again and again and again, the keeper closed the book gently. The year you have lived was exactly the year you needed to live. It taught you. It shaped you. It brought you here to this threshold. And now it is time to let it go. The keeper led Elara to the center of the room, where a large basin of water sat. The water was clear and still, reflecting the firelight like liquid gold. This is the basin of release, the keeper said softly. Place your hands in the water, Elara, and let go of what you have been carrying. Elara knelt beside the basin. She placed her hands in the water, and it was warm. Not hot, just warm, like the sun on her skin in late summer. Close your eyes, the keeper said. Elara closed her eyes. Now, the keeper continued, their voice gentle as a lullaby. Let the water receive what you have been holding. The regrets, the mistakes, the moments you wish you could change, the burdens you have carried, the expectations you could not meet, the tiredness you have tried to ignore. Let it all go. The water will hold it, and you will be free. Elara felt something shift inside her chest, a tightness she had not known she was holding. And slowly, like ice melting in spring, it began to release. She felt the weight of her regrets lifting, the heaviness of her mistakes easing, the burden of her weariness dissolving. Tears fell from her closed eyes into the water, mingling with the warmth, and the keeper's voice continued, soft and steady. You are forgiven, Elara, for everything you think you did wrong, for every moment you were less than you hoped to be. You are forgiven, not because you earned it, but because you are loved deeply, completely, without condition. Lara wept quietly, her hands still resting in the warm water, and she felt, for the first time in so long, truly clean, truly light, truly free. After a long while, the keeper helped her to her feet. Elara's face was wet with tears, but her heart felt open, soft, new. Now, the keeper said gently, it is time to receive. They led Elara to a different shelf, where a single book sat alone. This one was different from the others. It was bound in soft blue leather, and it did not glow. It was simply waiting. This, the keeper said, is the book of your new year. Elara looked at it, her breath catching. But it's empty, she whispered. The keeper smiled. Yes, they said, it is empty, because it has not yet been written. The year ahead is unwritten, Elara, full of possibility, full of grace, full of moments you cannot yet imagine. They opened the book, and the pages were blank, clean and white, and waiting. You do not need to fill these pages with perfection, the keeper said softly. You do not need to have a plan for every day. You do not need to promise to be better or stronger or more than you are. You only need to live, to breathe, to trust that each page will be filled as you need it, one day at a time, one breath at a time, one moment at a time. The keeper placed the book in Ilara's hands. This year is a gift, they said, not a test, not a burden, a gift. Receive it with open hands. Receive it with a soft heart, and know that you are not walking into it alone. Ilara held the book gently, feeling its weight, light, full of promise. What if I make mistakes again? She asked quietly. The keeper's eyes were infinitely kind. You will, they said simply, and you will be loved anyway. What if I fail? You will be loved anyway. What if I am not enough? The keeper placed both hands on Ilara's shoulders, looking into her eyes. You are already enough, they said. You have always been enough, and the divine will walk with you through every moment of this new year. The joyful moments and the hard ones, the moments of clarity and the moments of confusion, the moments of strength and the moments of weakness. All of it. You are not alone, Ilara. You have never been alone, and you never will be. Ilara felt something bloom in her chest. Not excitement, not resolution, but a quiet, steady hope, a sense that whatever the new year held, she could meet it, not because she was strong enough, but because she was held. The keeper walked with her to the door. Outside, the night was deep and full of stars. The path of white stones glowed softly, leading back through the grove. Go in peace, the keeper said, and when you wake tomorrow, remember this. Every day is a new beginning. Every breath is a chance to start again. Every moment is held in the hands of a love that will never let you go. Ilara embraced the keeper, and the embrace was like being wrapped in light. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you for everything. The keeper smiled. Go now, they said gently. The new year is waiting. And so is home. Ilara walked back along the path of white stones, through the grove of silver trees, with their gentle lanterns, across her garden, to her cottage on the hill. The sky in the east was beginning to lighten, the first hint of dawn, the first breath of a new year. Ilara stood in her doorway and looked out at the valley. The world was waking. Birds were beginning to sing. The stars were fading into the soft blue of early morning. And Ilara felt different, not because everything had changed, but because she had been reminded of what was always true. She was loved. She was forgiven. She was held. And the year ahead was not something to fear or to conquer. It was a gift, waiting to be received. One day at a time, one breath at a time, one moment at a time. She went inside and made herself tea. She sat by her window and watched the sun rise. And as the first light of the new year filled her cottage, Ilara placed her hand over her heart and whispered, "Thank you." Not for anything specific, but for everything. For the year that had passed, for the year that was beginning, for the love that held both, for the grace that made all things new. And now, dear one, this truth is for you. As this year ends and another begins, you're invited to let go, to release the weight you have been carrying, the regrets, the mistakes, the burdens, the expectations you could not meet. You are forgiven for everything you think you did wrong, for every moment you were less than you hoped to be. You are forgiven, not because you earned it, but because you are loved, deeply, completely, without condition. And the year ahead is not a test. It is not a burden. It is a gift, waiting for you with open hands. You do not need to have it all figured out. You do not need to make perfect plans or grand promises. You only need to receive it one day at a time, one breath at a time, one moment at a time, and know that you are not walking into it alone. The divine walks with you through every joy and every sorrow, through every victory and every stumble, through every moment of clarity and every moment of confusion. You are held. You have always been held, and you always will be. So, rest now. Let your body soften. Let your heart be still. The year that was has passed. The year that will be is waiting. And this moment, right now, is a gift, a sacred pause, a gentle threshold. You are safe here. You are loved here. You are exactly where you need to be. Close your eyes now. Feel the warmth of that love surrounding you, like arms that will never let you go, like a blanket woven just for you. You do not need to do anything tonight. You do not need to be anything other than what you are. Tired, perhaps, ready for rest, ready to begin again. And that is perfect. That is enough. You are enough. Let that truth carry you into sleep. Let it ease every worry about tomorrow. Let it soften every regret about yesterday. This is a new beginning, and you are held in hands that make all things new. Rest now, beloved one. Sleep deeply, sleep peacefully. The new year is a gift, and so are you. God is with you. The divine has never left you. And tomorrow, when you wake, you will wake to grace, to possibility, to love that has no end. Sleep well, sleep in peace. The keeper of new beginnings is watching over you. And you are safe, you are loved, you are home. Good night and Happy New Year. May you wake to wonder, may you live in grace, and may you always know how deeply, deeply you are cherished. Rest now. All is well. All will be well. You are held. Good night.